What is up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Straight Edge Wrestling Podcast, March the 14th edition. This week has been interesting. One of the most surreal weeks, I think.
It was a hilarious Smackdown.
Yeah, hilarious Smackdown. I think not just in the world of wrestling, but in the real world, this has been one of the most...
Who cares about that?
Yeah, who cares about the real world? It's been a fucking insane week. Just whatever. It's been one of the most surreal weeks, and unlike anything either of us have ever seen before. Talking about wrestling, though, the main story of the week is obviously how coronavirus has affected the wrestling world and just utterly annihilated lots of indie promotions right the way up to WWE. So,
Manson half took in WWE out there, still going.
Yeah.
They just revived his career.
Literally. There's, obviously, we started the week like Elimination Chamber in front of a packed house.
That was a great show.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber was good. I mean, I know lots of people shit on the Shayna match, the women's Elimination Chamber at the end, but I liked it. It got over what it needed to do.
For once, I don't have a bad thing to say about WWE.
No, I liked it. I thought Elimination Chamber was good. I really liked the Drew Gulak.
And then they went and did Raw.
Yeah, and then Raw was just pointless. Although AJ Styles cut a great promo on The Undertaker. I like that.
The thing that's irritating me about it right now, and especially at the beginning of the show when Seth Rollins states that, join because we've got numbers. By the end of the show, he's outnumbered and has been for weeks.
Yeah, don't think logically about this. It doesn't get you anywhere. But yeah, so then Raw happened, and then from there it was just a sort of even steeper downward spiral for WWE. So let's talk WrestleMania.
They saved themselves on Friday.
They did. Let's talk WrestleMania first. So obviously WrestleMania is scheduled for 3 weeks' time, and as of right now, so as of speaking right now at 5 p.m. British time. On the 14th of March, WrestleMania's still going ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't went to the day's holiday.
Do I think WrestleMania's going to go ahead? No.
Yeah, I do. I reckon it's going to be in the
PC.
Yep.
I reckon
it'd be fucking awesome in there.
To be fair, I wouldn't mind it because
how quick will Undertaker get to the ring?
Yeah. If they could get just a couple hundred fans in there for a Mania or whatever. It'd be
you know what I really want to see? I want to see the first time ever an empty arena.
See, that's the one thing I don't think they're doing for Mania.
I'd also feel really bad for Rhea Ripley for her first WrestleMania, not having that in
everyone. I feel bad for anyone.
Screw anyone that Rhea Ripley's first WrestleMania with the first time having the NXT title on the main, let alone it being WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I don't see them running an empty arena. I could be wrong. Who the fuck knows at this point? Like they could run an empty arena. They could run an empty freaking Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. They could run a massive 80,000 stadium with that would be a sight to see with the stage and everything. I see them delaying it, doing what most things are doing, delaying it to the summer or July, August, September. Yeah, see, that's going to be the weird thing. The weird thing is like. Other sports, the NFL, the NBA, NHL, all of them, they can just delay and pick up where they left off. WWE really can't do that because it's a drama. So like, what do they just pause all these storylines and pick them back up in 3 months and pretend it didn't happen?
Nope, they just let Triple H run the show.
Yeah, it's really it's really bizarre. It's I think they'll delay it. So. I'll run down very quickly, essentially the series of bizarre events which happened this week. So, it was said that that Tampa Bay and Florida, the Floridian governments were going to meet about mass gatherings. So, the governor of Florida, I've got to get this right because the American government system is much more bizarre than ours is with the state level and stuff. So, the governor of Florida said that he believed that all mass gatherings should be cancelled, that we shouldn't be doing them. But the governor hasn't got the right to say they can't go ahead. That's up to the local municipalities. So
the governor has got no power then?
Apparently so.
What's the point? What's the point of being a governor then?
Who knows? So the mayor of Tampa, she says, I think the mayor was a she. I think I'm not misgendering. I think the mayor was.
You've really got to do your homework.
Yeah, I'm sure that the mayor of Tampa said that she wasn't going to make a decision now because WrestleMania is 3 weeks away. Essentially, and then you fast forward and you go to the Tampa Bay meeting, and in the meeting the sheriff and a few others make some statements about WrestleMania and about the fact that essentially they're going to reconvene next Saturday. So in 7 days' time, they're going to reconvene.
You can still hold it on going. If you give all the audience and people working there hazmat suits.
Hazmat suits, yeah. Well, do you know what's really funny? I saw Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out something great, and it's like there's so many stories like Bruce Pritchard and Cornette and all them used to say, and Russo have said about it, that Vince McMahon hated people who sneeze. Yeah. Hates it. Like he's like, that's his biggest phobia, you know. Everyone's heard the stories. It's like his biggest phobia. And like Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out being like,
do you think he's got Michael Cole's old box?
yeah. But Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out being like, Vince McMahon's been telling you motherfuckers for years not to sneeze, and this is it. But
there's Vince McMahon in Michael Cole's old glass box.
Glass box is sitting there like a bubble. Like, you motherfuckers stay away from me.
Between that and his office,
yeah. They so the meeting gets held. They say essentially the ball's in WWE's court for the next week. So Vince McMahon and WWE have a week to pull the plug. If they don't pull the plug, then Tampa Bay is going to have to pull it for them.
What? So WWE get their money back.
And yeah, exactly that. So if WWE pull the plug, the issue being that insurance-wise, they may not be able to get their money back. They may not get paid out if they make the decision. But if Tampa Bay makes the decision, then they can claim their insurance. So as far as I believe that I know how Vince McMahon thinks, like, which is very little because no one knows how that lunatic thinks, is he is not going to cancel shit.
I know how he thinks. XFL.
That was just obviously XFL was suspended well, it's cancelled its season now, so it's coming back in 2021.
Oh, that was a great run for him. Now it's over already. At least it lasted a bit longer than the last time.
I literally tweeted out being like, God, because it was like the meeting in Tampa happened and an hour later XFL suspended. I tweeted out like, I bet Vince McMahon is throwing chairs through the fucking windows of Titan Towers right now.
I bet it's like that. Is it my second run lasted longer than the first one?
Yeah.
So I'm grooving.
And I think people actually kind of liked XFL, the XFL Mark II, so it's kind of a shame. But that'll be back in 2021, like most things, apparently. So,
and that's if as long as we're all still alive, right?
That's if we're all still alive.
Armageddon hasn't kicked in.
Yeah. Jesus.
I'm going to get myself a gun.
So as of right now, WrestleMania is happening. I don't think it's probably going to go ahead in its current form in any way, shape or form. Could be completely wrong. WWE could be completely defiant and be like, fuck you. But also,
I'm still going to be in Florida doing it. I'm just going to be in my little place.
Yeah, but also, as you pointed out, is like, you know, the ban which is now just extended to the UK. That's a huge portion of WWE's WrestleMania audience. Like, you know, we flew over there last year for it, and we there was lots of Brits, lots of Canadians, lots of Europeans, lots of all different people out there for Mania. It's a huge proportion of their audience. So even if they ran the stadium, there's a good chance that it would be half empty as it is. So, but there we go.
Fine, WWE just puts everyone on the other side.
Yeah,
it looks busy.
Yeah.
I still go around and say we broke the record attendance.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, like, it'll be an empty stadium. They'll still claim 100,000 people or something.
Well, we sold all the tickets.
Yeah, we sold it. Just because you motherfuckers didn't show up.
Just because you guys are all coughing and Vince McMahon said you're not allowed in, you're all outside.
that ain't on us that you didn't show up.
Vince McMahon just set your big TV up outside the stadium for you.
Yeah. You can watch it in the parking lot. You just can't come into the stadium. So obviously AEW had to cancel its shows from Rochester, New York, and New Jersey and places like that. And they were supposed to move them to Daly's Place, which is where the arena attached to the Jacksonville Jags Stadium. Unfortunately, that's actually owned by the city of Jacksonville, so AEW, as of right now, doesn't have a venue. So that's going to be something that's going to come out.
Junior Khan's kicking his dad Senior Khan for not buying the building?
Yeah. Daddy, why did you not buy me a building? Vince has one, I want one.
How quickly can you buy me one now, Daddy?
Daddy, buy me a building! Actually, he doesn't need Daddy to buy one, he's a billionaire of himself.
Well, that's why he's a billionaire, he's getting Daddy to buy it.
Good point. That's a very good point.
And I learned something from Fast and Furious. If they're a billionaire, you spend other people's money.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, the Smackdown this week was supposed to emanate from Detroit, Michigan, but in fact emanated from the Performance Center, same as NXT.
And you know what? They did a better show for it.
They did a very good show. I said
MVP of the show, Triple H.
When they first announced this show, I said WWE always does really well when their back's up against the wall. You look at like when the plane was held in Saudi, that great Smackdown they done when they had to figure something out.
Once again, it involved something to do with NXT. Once again, yeah.
They had to figure something out and they did it. And last night, I mean, they could have done without re-showing that damn Elimination Chamber match.
Oh yeah,
that was whatever. That was stupid.
I was having great fun and fast forward.
That removed. I really genuinely actually
quite enjoyed the show. I suppose they have to try and fill the time somehow, don't you? At the end of the day, when you've got like 10 people overall there.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't know who was going to be able to make it. They couldn't plan anything in advance. So, I think they did actually very, very well. And as you said,
I think Triple H might be a good cameraman as well.
Triple H was the damn star of the show. Like that, he deserves major, major props. I put this on Twitter and I said it to you. That could have been such a depressing show, seeing like no fans.
Oh man, though, him and Cole do work quite well together.
Really well. Like I never knew I needed a Michael Cole Triple H commentary team until now. But
it does actually put JR and King to shame.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd put that in Cole. But
that's the thing. It's like, do you know what I think the thing is? It's like Vince wasn't there screaming in Michael Cole's ear, so actually.
You're telling me he actually enjoyed his job for once?
He actually enjoyed his job for once, He didn't have an old man screaming, "Do it! God damn it, say this!"
He did afterwards, though, over the phone.
Yeah, why did you say that, Cole? You said the word shoot and all that. What was really weird about the whole thing was WWE hates, Vince McMahon hates people addressing the camera. That it's supposed to be like the camera doesn't exist. So the wrestlers were still like geared up to not addressing that. There was no fans there and they were still talking to the audience.
It was also getting here because when they first started off with like Sasha Banks and all that, and they were doing their bit. They were trying to act like they're now talking to like what?
Yeah, no one's.
And then Nikki Cross, and I love the way Triple H brought it out, where she's trying to do the thing and she's trying to
pop up the crowd.
Trying to pop up the crowd. She is aware it's not there, right? That's why I brought her in. See, things like this.
There was so many one-liners from Triple H which were fantastic. There was one where when Asuka appeared and he was like, "Where did Asuka come from? She must have come through the crowd." Like that popped me huge. There was when he said about Dave Meltzer reported this week that Triple H had a demotion. Obviously, Triple H's corporate title changed, and he said that he had a quote quiet demotion within WWE that people were talking about, and. On Smackdown, Triple H obviously just roasted Dave Meltzer essentially and just said, "I'm the only person in the world that can get a demotion and have more things to do."
Yep.
He ran that show last night and ran it well. He coloured in Michael Cole's soul patch. He acted as makeup artist and coloured in the soul patch. He was cameraman. It was genius. And I tell you what. There was actually some really good things that come out of the show. The Bray Wyatt John Cena thing at the end, I thought was very good.
It's quite good where John Cena wants to bury him.
Yeah, I thought that was very, very good. So John Cena's the heel in this?
John Cena's never going to...
Did you know?
That's going to change by next week when Vince McMahon realised what happened.
It's going to... Vince is like... because Vince wasn't watching the show. He's like, "God damn it, what did you do?" It's going to change.
Killed my money maker.
Yeah. When I was watching it, I was thinking, wait, Bray's got a point here. So is Cena the heel? But I think there's a lot of good come out. I would have. Do you know what? That Cesaro Bryan match, they could have just given them a 30-minute match, and let them go and not shown that Elimination Chamber. Actually, let those two just have a match. It was weird though. Oh, do you know it was a weird thing as well? The Twist of Fate is now the Twist of Fury. So
do you think that's because of a certain brother still having the rights to the name?
It is a trademark. I can confirm. Apparently, it is a trademark. Because Rebby Hardy tweeted out moments after Michael Cole called it the Twist of Fury, just the words TM. So I'm going to go and assume that Twist of Fate is, like many of the things, Brother Nero and all that stuff, is owned by Matt Hardy. Because I just, at first, I thought Michael Cole just sort of had an aneurysm and forgot the name, and then he carried on saying it. It was like, oh, okay, no, that's a thing.
Do we actually know when Matt Hardy's going to make his appearance yet? Or no?
Well, the thing is, so if he was going to be the Exalted One, or whatever, from Dark Order, it would be this Wednesday, but because they've announced the Exalted One's going to be on AEW. So,
because I know at the moment you've got. I thought they was holding off a little bit longer now because of where Christian Daniels now challenged both the main two people to a singles match.
Yeah, well, they have announced and they've been hyping up for AEW this week. The Exalted One will be here this week, So
sitting in the crowd like
sitting in
Roman
the
did.
crowd, yeah. So if they actually run a show this week, we should be finding out. So
Well, if they were smart, they'd just do it out on the street.
yeah, literally, just down the street. You can't stop that. They
I'm not in the building, bugger off.
They obviously Lance Archer's Jake Roberts' client, which we sort of I sort of said last week was probably going to be the case, and then you've now got Brody Lee, the former Luke Harper from WWE, and Matt Hardy. They're the two waiting to debut essentially. So the Exalted one is probably one of those two. And do you know what?
I don't think it's going to be Brody Lee there.
Well, do you know what we think? Brody Lee is from Rochester, New York, where AEW was supposed to be this Wednesday. So I kind of assumed he was going to be debuting this Wednesday. But that's obviously been thrown out now. So who knows? Who knows what the hell's going to happen? I think any planned things are sort of out the window right now.
Street fight.
Yeah. But so what else we got? We got the SEC filings showed some interesting little tidbits from like Triple H being quietly demoted. So Triple H was the EVP for talent, live events, and creative. He's now in charge of global development. So basically, essentially, it's been said that Triple H's job is now just NXT, and the expansion of NXT to NXT UK, NXT Japan, etc., etc.
Yeah, we're in the wrestling business.
Yeah, that seems to be his only thing. There's also there's some little glimmer of light that's happening in this coronavirus thing. Is Will Ospreay? He's
Ospreay's always a delight.
He's arranging an event this Monday.
To lose to his girlfriend.
To lose to his girlfriend. He's arranging an event which is going to live stream on the Wrestle Talk TV YouTube page with all proceeds from super chats, ad revenue, t-shirt buys, anything being split between the wrestlers on the card to try and help and support indie wrestlers, because obviously they're independent contractors. Lots of them are going to be very, very hard off over the next couple of months if they're cancelling all these shows.
Those flight attendants and pilots.
Yeah. There's going to be lots of people that are going to be very, very hard off. They're obviously WrestleMania week is big for a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys wrestle freaking 12 matches or whatever. They go from show to show to show, so they're going to be missing lots of paydays. So it's nice Will Ospreay's thinking about, because obviously Ospreay's salaried with New Japan. You know, he's getting paid regardless. And like he's thinking about these guys where he was a couple of years ago. You know, living hand to mouth. But yeah, that's happening this Monday. He's going to be facing his girlfriend Bea Priestley. I'm looking forward to that.
Come on, Bea, fuck him up.
Yeah, we know Bea's winning that. I'm looking forward to that.
And then she's going to dump him at the end because he's a loser.
But like, looking forward to next week. It's weird because normally I'd lay out, this is what's happening next week. We have no idea what's happening next week. None.
Armageddon.
The end of the world as we know it. We know that on Raw, Stone Cold is still advertised, so he's still going to be there. And you've got Undertaker and AJ Styles contract signing is happening. You have two legends who normally get mega reactions that are going to be entering the Performance Centre, because it is confirmed that it's going to be at the Performance Centre. We don't know with or without fans yet. I'm going to assume without again.
That's Cannon, man. Stone Cold getting canned audience.
Well, it's weird. They could just bring in loads of employees and wrestlers and have them sit in the audience. You know, just
until one of them coughs, right?
Yeah, until one of them coughs and they just go off the air just immediately. But Stone Cold, I reckon they're going to run a rerun. So it's like they're going to have to 3 hours. No way they're going to do 3 hours. It's probably going to be 2 hours and an hour of a rerun of some kind.
It'll be 3 hours of looking. This is having an elimination chamber again.
Yeah, it's just going to be Austin drinking beer for an hour and a half. To be fair, just put Triple H on commentary again. Put Triple H and Austin together, and let them go.
What? I'll shoot you on the table. Why do we dislike each other?
Yeah, exactly. Just let them go. Just do the Stone Cold sessions. Air that. Well, actually, that's supposed to be a good thing. Stone Cold, the Broken Skull sessions with Bret Hart is supposed to air directly after Raw. Just put that in the last hour of Raw. It's probably more interesting. You know, Austin sitting with Bret.
Yeah, just put that on instead anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Put that on in the last
Triple
hour.
H does some epic freaking announcement and camera work. With,
I really hope Triple H is back on commentary. There is really nothing to announce. I mean, on next Friday, Rob Gronkowski is going to make his debut for WWE.
Is he though?
Yeah, apparently, and that's going to be in the Performance Centre, which is weird as well. He's a big star, you know. Obviously, we're not like American football people over here, really, like as a country. Rob Gronkowski is one of the biggest American football players ever, so he's making a debut to no crowd, which is so going to be so crazy, like a huge star. You could have Goldberg and Roman doing a contract signing in front of no one as well. It's very odd.
Yeah, well, I think most people feel that way about that match at the moment. I don't know why. It
Yeah,
be quite
that's true.
interesting.
Should be a good match. If it happens, when it happens, at
It'll
some
just
point.
be each other spearing one another. That'll just be their match. That's the thing.
Pretty much.
Spit,
Yeah.
spit.
But other than that, there isn't really much else to talk about. It's
Make sure you stock up on your toilet rolls.
yeah, everything's up in the air. Stock up on toilet rolls, go and ram Rage's stores and wash your hands.
Fire a bar and arrow, because when Armageddon happens, we're going to run out of bullets eventually.
Yeah, what sage advice over there. Other than that, please like and subscribe to this video. Head on over and follow us on Twitter at SCW_podcast. I'm going to keep up to date as much as I can with what the hell is transpiring in the world of wrestling.
When you start coughing, I'm going to put you out of your misery.
Yeah, if I start coughing, if I start coughing, I'll be done.
I'm going to smother you.
Even if I don't
Okay.
cough at this point. Yeah, head over and follow us on Twitter and subscribe and like this video. Head over to Facebook, Instagram, all those good things, and we will see you next week. We are
Hopefully.
hopefully. Yeah.